Welcome to Totally Integrated Instrumentation. Today we're going to take a look at the Siemens SAM IQ app, and SAM stands for Smart Asset Management. And what you can see here, I'm going to show you two demo pages. This is one that is connected, I've connected to my demo room in Worcester, so it's early days. I've only did this yesterday, so I haven't got too much data. And what we have here is an LR560. You can see the more symbols at the top, but not much is happening. And if I come down to have a look what's in the instrument in more detail, you can see there how long it's been logging the data. Just be careful, there's not much of a movement there. And as you come down, just so you get an idea, the electronics temperature, I think nearly all Siemens instruments have an electronic temperature. Again, it's just an extra process value we can bring back. That could be really handy if you've got say a pneumatic valve position on a steam valve that keeps failing. Is it because it's getting too hot? These are because it's a Profibus value, your output values on Profibus, and then we come down to some of the nice diagnostics here. Look, so your echo confidence, and you can put things like little trends on here, so you can see where the lines are going. Some of the nice things, if I zoom in on one, it will zoom in on all of the trends. So if I reset, I can zoom here, and you'll see all of the trends now zoom into the same point. That's quite a nice thing, so you can see the data for all of the process values. As we come down, we have obviously our peak values here, which are recorded in the instrument, and we have our operating hours. This has been powered up for quite a long time in the demo room in Worcester. And then we have what we call the identification, sometimes referred to as the electronic label. Okay, so this is assigned to this tag with this serial number. That will make more sense when we go to the other screen in a minute. And then this is really the brains behind how SAM IQ works. It uses special EDDs integrated within PDM maintenance station called boost EDDs that allow you to access all of this diagnostic information. If you don't have the boost EDD, then if we go back to devices, you can see one here that is a temperature transmitter. I still get my status and I still get my electronic label, so I still get all of that, but I don't get the real good diagnostics. But really, on a temperature sensor, there's not as much diagnostics as what you would have on a level or a Coriolis meter. So that's that one. And as I say, there's not much on the events and everything, so you can't see that. But this is the demo portal, which is data that's been collected from a customer's site, and more has been happening here. So this just gives you an indication that it is open. So there's the Siemens valve positioner. So we've already looked at an LR560, so we'll have a look at this. And under here, because you've got your electronics temperature again, your control deviation. So you've asked it to move to a set point, and for some reason we've got deviation. And this one, direction of changes. So this would be a value stamped onto the valve that the electro-pneumatic positioner, in this case of Siemens PS2, is controlling. So you could put your own threshold value in there. So if you know that the manufacturer states that direction of changes is 20,000 or whatever it is, you could program that in there. So now it's telling you to have a look at that because you've exceeded what the manufacturer states. We have control deviation, and the nice thing with the PS2, because it doesn't leak any air, it can actually do its own leakage tests. So if we started to see control deviation and a leakage value here, we would very quickly know that our pneumatic air has got something wrong with it. Okay, and then if we start coming down, we got a number of strokes, something called slipstick, so is the valve actually sticking, and then we come down to electronic label again. So there's the valve positioner, and go back to devices to prove that it's open. We have a VegaFlex 60 there, and that is the current state. Some of these have got maintenance. If I go to device, because this has been live data a bit more, so I can see here, you know, what's actually been happening with this instrument, and I've got all sorts of thresholds exceeded on here. So loss of echo, and if I go to my threshold, so my echo confidence value has been exceeded, and I can acknowledge that alarm. Then if I go to events, I get the full event list, and we'll have a look at some of these. Device change to failure, so we'll have a look. Loss of echo, so it's lost its signal, so there's a bit more on the diagnostics, but what I'm looking for is device replace. So this one here, on this date, this serial number was replaced by this serial number. So we can actually see that something has changed on site. So that's one. And then the other one, which is really nice, here, for this particular radar, on this date, somebody changed the upper calibration points from 0.3 to 0.4. And so why was that done? Okay. And so you have full history, and then if we go to the analyze, this is where we can put our own trends on. So if we go, we're going to call this. So you do need the advanced license to be able to get to this section. So what I can start to do now is I can put in LR560 silo 4, and I want to look at my echo confidence for that one, and I can come now do, and we'll go to silo 5, and we'll look at the echo confidence. So again, the zoom in and everything else works pretty much the same. I can see, I know they're two separate devices, but I've zoomed in, and this is your own KPI. So you can imagine if you had a pressure transmitter on this vessel, a vibration sensor of some sort, or anything, you know, a pneumatic valve position, a flow meter feeding it, you could overlay all of that data with the diagnostic data from each of the instruments to see what is going on with that process. So the other thing I wanted to show, which I personally think is a nice feature, as you can see here, you've got quite a few of the same devices. If I want to, when I come in and program my thresholds, so I'm going to have a look at this threshold here. It's a bit high at 9. I'm going to lower that to 5. What I can do, rather than just doing it for one of my LR560s, I can lower that threshold for any LR560s on my plant. And that will then give me the list of them, and I can decide which ones that I'm going to set. So that's the overview of the app on a PC, and of course on an iPad or a tablet it will look very similar. So what I'm going to show you next is how it looks like on a phone. So on the left hand side you can see there a connection to my phone and the smart asset management app. So you don't have all of the functionality, but what you do get is an overview of your alarms, and if I had any of these I can click onto each one of these to see what is under each alarm category. And if I go to my device, I can go onto the 560. There's no events. The level is good. It knows it's a level sensor, and again you can see all of your trends and everything else on there. So It is more of a viewing platform. You need something a little bit more like a PC to start programming your thresholds, but it does give you access to the data on a more portable platform. So and you still get notifications of your alarms. So still a very powerful tool. And as you can see there, the auto zooms and everything else works okay. So that's an overview of the app. I hope you can appreciate it's quite powerful in what it can do by logging these diagnostic values over time. We can start to put in predictive maintenance schedules. So thanks for listening. Please tune in again for future blogs, and I hope you enjoyed it. Cheers.